1 2 1 2 1 tick 1 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 the 1 tick 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 looking back on all the times in my life, remembering all the pain inside.
Live at JSM, you're watching woozyfly.com. My name is Hannah Fairlight, and picking up the baton passed off by Stevie Wonder and Donny Hathaway, I am here today with Steve Wallace. Steve, how do you feel?
After you saying I'm picking the baton up after Stevie Wonder, Donny Hathaway, I feel very humble.
How do you feel about your performance today at JSM?
It was a great time. It was a wonderful experience. I think it was the first time that we've done something in this type of situation, a live performance in a recording studio type thing. So it was interesting to hear my background singers in another room, and my guitarist is over there, and he's like right here. So that was cool. I enjoyed it though.
Nice.
And the Wurlitzer was great. The Wurlitzer.
I noticed that you were playing that. What year is that Wurlitzer from? Do you know?
I would only be guessing late 60s or so. That's what my guess is, but you know, I think
it's
expensive.
such
It's
a
great
rich sound.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
wonderful.
amazing.
Yeah.
So, Steve, where are you originally from?
I was born and raised in Chicago, south side of Chicago. You know, sort of start off in a lower middle class setting, and then from there, you know, went to college in Illinois, at Illinois State University, and then I went to college and transferred to UNLV in Las Vegas. And I lived there for like a year, and then I moved to New York. So that was kind of the path.
The progression.
Yeah.
Now, I noted from your biography that you started in music at a very young age.
Yeah.
When did you start, in what setting, and how old were you?
I guess my first love for music started I started singing. Well, I can remember as far back, people told me like about the age of 3 or 4 singing. And then also, you know, I was really interested in The Wiz, the movie and the soundtrack of The Wiz, you know. So I used to listen to The Wiz like every day when I was a kid. And, you know, so that, you know, was really influential. And singing in church when I was like 4, did my first solo when I was 4 years old at church. And then at the age of 5, I started taking piano lessons from 5 to 8, which I felt like I didn't learn a whole lot from my teacher at the time. I wanted to play Beethoven, and I heard my sister was playing Beethoven in piano, and I was like, man, I like that. That's really nice. What is it? So I started just personally just studying Beethoven on my own. I find the encyclopedia, look for Beethoven, kept the B encyclopedia in my room. You know, I was like, I really wanted to find out more about him. And when I was 9, my friend's mother heard that I could sing, and I was interested in music, and she told me to audition for the Merit School of Music in Chicago.
Wow.
Which was a conservatory for music, and I was accepted into the tuition-free conservatory, and I studied there from the age of 9 to 18, music theory, composition, ear training, you know, vocal performance, and so forth. I was singing in like 3 languages by the age of 13 years old.
Wow.
So Italian, Latin, English, Spanish, you know, and then later on I got into German and French, like going into college and stuff. So.
Oh, congratulations.
Got my mind straight bugging, baby. You got my heartstrings tugging, but you still acting real, yeah. Going for real, don't come at all. Baby, what's the deal? If you wanna tell me all you feel, going for real, don't come at all.
That's amazing. Very, very awesome accomplishments. Let's talk about the music.
Yeah.
Lyrically, I'm hearing a lot of things going on. Everything from discussion of greed and money to you know, the subject of love, of course.
Yeah.
All enveloping. Where do you get your inspiration from lyrically, and where have you been recently with writing?
Well, my inspiration comes from life. It comes from my spiritual walk with God. It comes from a lot of different, you know, that's basically it, and it goes hand in hand, you know. Just experiencing life and you know, how I interact with God as far as dealing with life, whether it be relationships or the frustrations of life, or it be, you know, just what's going on in the city, or, you know, just different things that I see. And I just write based off of that. My earlier writings, which is mostly stuff on my first album, debut album, Come With The Real, that's more earlier stuff. It's more based around love and relationships and things, you know, being hurt and things like that. And it was a couple of socially conscious or spiritual songs, but more so as I've gotten older, I've gotten more into just kind of being aware of the world around me and not so into myself as what I just experience myself, but just what I'm seeing and how I interact with the outside world. So, and as far as writing, now I guess it goes into that too. I'm just experimenting with a ton of different styles. I've produced hip hop stuff before. Actually did a track for Ghostface Killer's last album, Fish Scale. I did a track on that. I worked with De La Soul, Kev Brown, a lot of different people. Working with other people now, writing and producing, Maya Azucena, Monet, different people on Purpose Records, Lillian Roberts on Sarai Records, and just different people just being involved in just all the music and just trying to make an impact on the world,
Now let's talk about production.
Mm-hmm.
I see that you wrote a sweet musical interval when you were was that during high school?
That was actually, I was 12.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, well, this is, let me give you now right now it sounds really huge, but what happened was I was at the Merit School of Music, and I was in this, I auditioned for the they do these student written operas like every other year, or they did when I was there. I did the first one when I was 10, and the next one was when I was 12. They had a lead role in the musical, for the opera, and the finale was not written, or my part of the finale was not written. Okay, so the name of the piece was A Sweet Musical Interval. That's the whole piece. But my teacher said to me, "We need your part of the finale. Go in that room and write it." I had never written anything before. I was 12. I was like, okay. And so I just did it. I just came up with something, and I was like, I hope this is okay. It rhymes a little bit and it sounds pretty good. So she said, "That's great, actually." So we'll put it in the opera. So we put it in the opera. And so I was a co-writer for the finale of the opera. And that was just kind of the start. And from there, going into high school, I met some guys. We started doing a little singing group thing, and then we got together and started writing songs together and things like that. So throughout that whole process, I just kept writing and just trying out different things. And by the time I graduated high school, I'd written about 75 songs. And I was just, which I was just like, most of them sounded like other stuff, to me. But it was, I'd written a lot, just practicing the craft,
Tired of being tired of being alone, tired of niggas up in my zone, tired of half-assed opinions, tired of no respect, tired of not getting a consistent paycheck, tired of loving myself and nobody's loving me, tired of knowing the truth and not following, tired of...
So, Steve, what are your plans right now? Do you have an album? Are you with a label?
Right now, I am an independent artist. I'm doing this solely by myself. I have some people that have helped me out along the process. Shout out to Griot Music Works, Abili, Craig and John Moo, and Rick Edwards with DNR Entertainment. There's people that help me out. Jota Seed. But throughout all that, I have an album that came out in 2005 called Come With The Real. You can buy it on cdbaby.com and on my website, stevewallacemusic.com. I put out a Christmas album last year, which is called Hope for the Holidays. So it's holidays time, so go ahead and get that. And just finished my new album. It's called Urban Soul, and that'll be out early next year. So keep an eye out for that.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Steve.
Thank you.
For
It's
coming
my
to the
pleasure.
studio.
Yeah.
Again, you're watching woozyfly.com. I'm here with the ambassador of Urban Soul, Steve Wallace. Remember to check him out on woozyfly.com. And remember, woozyfly.com, create your own buzz.